gentlemen, and welcome back once again to the Push to Pass F1 podcast. We are today reviewing the Baku Grand Prix, which we've just come off the back of. I am once again joined by Mr. Reef Parker. Reef, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, mate. It's been a quiet couple of days, but I'm doing good. Excited to talk some F1.
If you wonder why Reef looks like he's in some sort of cabinet or closet, it's because we are back in uni, so Reef is in his uni house, and we nearly had some special guests.
I mean, it looks like I'm in a closet because I basically am. This room's small.
Right, let's look back on Baku. Overall, before we get into the depths of everything that happened, sum it up, it was a bit meh, wasn't it?
It was a race that could have been good, that wasn't.
Yeah, it was very, I'm going to use the B word, it was very boring.
Yeah.
Whether that's down to, also Baku got an extension to 2030, which is something to note. But yeah, whether that's down to something I think is becoming a common theme, I think the cars are just too quick for tracks now. Even Baku, because that long straight, even DRS was becoming like pretty much useless because everyone had it.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke with a few people today about that and the DRS trains and the sort of implications that has. I mean, DRS was brought in to promote overtaking, and it's kind of it's been made redundant now, basically, because everyone's always in DRS range.
They changed it next, aren't they? Is it? Haven't they called it X and Y mode or something?
I haven't seen this.
2026, because they're getting rid of DRS. DRS isn't a thing anymore. DRS change. I'm pretty sure they said they're getting. Yeah, replacing it with a system of active aerodynamics called override mode, which includes two modes: Z mode for cornering and X mode for straights, controlled by the drivers. System does not require a car to be close to another to activate, unlike DRS, but allows drivers to manually choose between minimizing corner grip, Z mode, or straight line speed, X mode.
Sounds quite similar to what MotoGP have. They've got like the ride height device, which they can turn on and off during straights and corners and stuff.
I did not know that.
That comes with its own problems. Yeah, they're actually getting rid of them. Interestingly, they've had them for 2 years, I want to say, and they're more dangerous than good.
DRS has been around since 2011, so it's 14 years we've had it now.
Yeah, and overall, I'd say it's positive. I think at the time it needed it.
Yeah.
But now, I think Baku was kind of ruined because we had DRS.
I think technologically the cars have outgrown DRS. In the sense, I think, like, how complex aero is now, I think it almost negates the need for, like, 15 kilometers an hour extra straight line speed. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. But, yeah, I think Baku ultimately wasn't, well, the weekend on a whole was interesting, but it was sort of complete opposites between Saturday and Sunday. Sunday was very boring. We'll briefly talk about the madness that happened Saturday, which neither of us actually watched, which is quite disgraceful.
Yeah.
But yeah, qualifying was chaotic. All the drivers forgot how to drive, and it was actually quite a golden time to be on F1 Twitter because some of the stuff that was coming out was absolutely incredible. The qualifying, weirdly stupid start really. The qualifying session from last weekend was longer than last year's race, which I think sums up Baku qualifying as a whole.
That's crazy to me, but that just kind of illustrates how messy it was, really.
Right, let's talk about the big thing that happened in the race. A man who we are very, very quick to praise on this show. I think we need to be very quick to not slander, but criticise a bit. Oscar Piastri had probably the worst weekend of his F1 career I can possibly think of.
I'd say that it's definitely up there. I mean, not a crasher, is he? I think I saw a stat saying that he won't equal or beat Lewis Hamilton now for most races without points, or most races without a non-finish.
I think it was I want to say most consecutive points finishes.
Yeah, it was 40 odd.
Yeah, it's like most finishes with points, so like people will be like, oh, Max got that, but as soon as you DNF, it sort of ends the streak. And I think he was on like 48. I think Lewis was on like 50 odd. Like, I think he was only like 3 or 4 away.
Which, I mean, that points to the fact that Oscar's not a crasher. And I don't think this will become a common thing, but it wasn't very good this
Well,
weekend.
we've barely, apart from Melbourne and like a few slip ups in qualifying, we've not seen anything major from him in terms of mistake. Like we saw the stuff with Canada, but that was quite clearly Lando's fault. But yeah, since Melbourne, that's probably the only mistake, so to speak, we've actually seen from him. But this weekend, he had two crashes, and look, it we'll talk about why it's not the worst case scenario, but it's just if he'd got a good weekend year, even with how chaotic it was, and even if he finishes, say, a P4, a P5, you know for a fact he's going to have much more security in the title fight than him going, well, I've jumped the start, I've started pretty much 20th, and then I've slammed it into the wall unnecessarily.
Within 5 corners.
Yeah, I don't think it changes the title picture at all because of a certain man's inability to capitalise.
I wouldn't say it changes the title picture, but it could affect his confidence.
Yeah,
I mean, you'll have to see the sort of. I mean, this is where you kind of separate great drivers from good drivers. It's how he bounces back. If he sticks it on pole and wins next race weekend, then great. No one will remember this. But if this is the start of a skid, then that's a whole new thing. So I wouldn't say for now it affects things much because, as you've just said, Lando didn't necessarily capitalise on this opportunity.
yeah, we need to talk about that because if you look back at title fights, and even if you qualify poorly like Lando did, if your title rival crashes out, you sort of have to throw everything to maximise as many points as you had. And like Lando finished behind a V carb, he was finishing. He didn't even seem to be fighting that much towards the end. And surely you would look, Lando's looking at that and going, even if he didn't win, even if he finished third, fourth, second sort of area, he's near enough half in that gap to Oscar.
Yeah, it was a big opportunity, but then you can also think on the other hand, yeah, I could take advantage. I could completely slash the lead, but I could also just accept that I'm going to get points no matter what. I'm going to gain, so I'll bring it home. If he felt like he didn't have the pace or he would have to take risks fighting in that sort of, not mid pack, but you get what
Yeah,
I mean. And anything could have happened. He could have chased Sonoda towards the end, and they both could have been in the wall. You never know. So, I mean, I promised a friend that I wouldn't be too harsh on Lando because we often are. So maybe that's why I'm saying that. But it put it this way, I think if Lando loses the title this year, this is the sort of race weekend that will be
oh yeah,
mentioned.
100%. Because people look back at it and go, well, why haven't you? Why haven't you? You qualifying is it's as much as people want to say it can like make or break your weekend. It is an anomaly. It's less than 2 minutes, which can decide how your race goes. So you can't really say to Lando, well, why didn't you put it on pole? Because you have situations, it's one lap. Is one lap there could be different to Oscar's one lap, blah, 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 blah. But if you look at a race and you look at race distance in a car like a McLaren, which is clearly a very good race car, then, like you said, you can look back on this and go, well, why haven't you got a P4 in that? Why haven't you got a P3? And I think Lando might have that for a few races this season, which is something he's definitely going to need to iron out in the future.
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of end the Lando debate, this same friend who said that we're too harsh on him said that not everything's gone Lando's way this year, and I said that this was Lando's year to win a title, and I still think that's true.
I
This will be his best
well, I
opportunity.
predicted coming into the year that Lando would win the title, but there was a very big caveat of he had. It wasn't a sense of he could; it was more a sense of I felt he had to. In last year, we saw obviously how good he was, but we also saw how far off he was from Max in terms of being a champion. And I think I was coming into the year thinking, do you know what? I can see Lando with a much more comfortable car because this McLaren is clearly much better than the rest of the field, or it was mainly in the first half of the season. I could just see him getting that confidence and really establishing himself, but I'm not going to say he hasn't impressed me because he has impressed me this year, but he has let me wanting more a bit from him.
I would agree with that, but I think we should move on to our Baku race winner because This is like
This is.
throwing the cat amongst the pigeons, basically.
Do you know what? I back it. Yeah.
Do you? Do you know a video that I saw and I just thought, yeah, wow. You probably saw it as well. When he got pole, he patted his car.
Yeah. And do you know what?
And
Do you
I
know what
thought,
made me think? More than anything, I think this weekend it made Max think, do you know what, this is still on, because you can tell when Max has got like when he's got pole, when he's won in like previous races, he's been like, oh yeah, it's nice, like yeah, whatever. And this time you could see the emotion. He sort of went like, yeah, I could actually do this.
I think when you see him like patting his car, you think surely not. Has he found something?
Well, Red Bull they've clearly gone for it this year. They're clearly not going down without a fight, and I think it is showing. Like Max has won the past two races, and don't get me wrong, they are both at very similar tracks in terms of that. Red Bull this year has looked very good in situations where they can run pretty much little to no downforce and just run the car as quickly as they can. I think that's not only suited Max, but I think it's suited the car. But he is just we've said it before, and I think everyone's going to say it until the end of time. He is a driver who, no matter the situation, you cannot count out. And the fact that he is nearly he's about 80 points behind Oscar, and people are still going, he can win a title, he can do it with like 7 races left, is not only testament to him, but and I've seen a lot of people debate this, and I want to get your opinion on it because I think you'll have a strong opinion on it. If he does claw this back and somehow miraculously win a 5th world title, is he the best driver of all time?
Well, that it's hard to debate,
It is.
but he'd certainly, if he did do that, he'd certainly gain a lifelong fan in me, because that would be a mean feat.
Well, what did was it Vettel 2011? He crawled back, something stupid.
I can't think of another time where a champion is. I mean, I don't think Schumacher ever did it.
No, I can.
I don't think Lewis has ever done it.
I'm sure they. I think the biggest one was Seb, and I think he came back from like. This is complete, just ballpark figure.
Is this 2011 or 2012?
I'm sure it was. It might have been 20. One of them.
2012 is when it was really.
I think
close.
it might have been 2012 then. I'm sure he came back from like 50 odd points. And Max
I
is
mean,
80.
80 points is a lot, yeah. In 7 races, that is a lot, obviously. But I mean, can he actually even do that realistically? I've not done the maths, and it takes us too long.
Well,
to do
the
the maths.
mathematical most amount of points he can score is 191.
Okay.
7 race wins and then 2 sprint wins. There is a right. This, and sorry to cut you off. There is a possibility, and I don't know where I saw it. Right, there's a possibility that coming into Abu Dhabi, Max can be either. There is a position where if Max wins, he wins the title on count back, but if Lando wins, Lando wins the title full on. And there was a thing. It was like if Oscar is behind Lando, is just behind Max, and he's got Lando just behind him, what do you think he would do? And someone was like, I think he would just get out the car.
It's a, not to be boring, it's a little bit too early to be saying.
Yeah, I think
if we go another 3 race weekends and we're like 4 races left, and Max has won, well, that would be 5 on the bounce.
Well,
then I'd be like, oh wow.
let me look at what, because next is Singapore, which Max is. I'm not going to say the word, but he's quite iffy at. Yeah, we got Singapore, then we got Kota, which Max is very good at. Then we got Mexico, which Max is very good at. Then we got Brazil, which Max is very good at. Vegas, which is a bit of an unknown for everyone. Qatar, which I don't think Max ever won at. And then Abu Dhabi, which Max changed the sport forever. How funny would it be to see Max win it in Abu Dhabi again on like the last lap?
Absolutely
Abu
crazy,
Dhabi 2021 and
but I suppose
2025.
we'll just have to wait and see.
Do you think with your realistic head on, rather than you want to see it happen? Give me a likelihood out of 10 you can see it happening.
At the moment, it's still a 3.
I give it a 4 or 5. I give it a 5.
Oh, sorry, mate. You might have to cut that. That's my phone. Yeah. I mean, it is too early. I know 7 races. We are definitely at the back end of the season, but it's such a big gap, and McLarens are still by far the better car.
But another point to add to this: do you think this whole Papaya Schmeier rules could favour Max?
Oh yeah, 100%. It already has.
Because like Max laughs at them in Monza. Like I think even then has. Max knew, like, if I carry on this sort of form, then I will. I saw a quite a mental stat. We know how good the McLaren's been this year. Max has got the most poles this year. Yeah, genuine. Max. I'm sure Max. It's either Max has got the most poles or he's got the most wins. Let me have a look quickly. Where is the F1 app?
Be most wins, I don't think.
Results.
What's Max got, like 5 wins, 6 wins?
So Australia. Where do I see drivers' wins? I'll cut this bit. No, bugger off. Who has the most wins in F1 in 2025? I don't care. 31st of August. No, it's too late. It might be new. Yeah. Do you have an updated results calendar? Results and standards. So Lando has 1, 2, 3. Lando's only got 4 poles. Max has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's mad for a car that isn't that good.
Max has 4 wins. Oscar's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, Oscar's got 7 wins. Max has got 6 poles. So.
Yeah, but another thing that I thought was quite telling about the car more than the driver was that Tsunoda had a good weekend.
Yeah, Tsunoda had we'll obviously get onto it with driver ratings. I think this is just it's always a thing in F1. I think in a race, not of attrition, but a race where it is just pure chaos, I think having a decent car like that, and he hasn't been the best this year, but I think a decent driver like Tsunoda, you can still bank on him to get a decent result on that. And he looked quick. He was able to defend from Lando, and he was able to keep quicker cars and quicker drivers than him behind, and he just looked comfortable. He didn't look like he was going to make a mistake. He didn't look rash or anything like that, so it was just really nice to see, I think, for Yuki, who's fighting for his future, to be fair.
Yeah, but if the car has improved to the point where Yuki, who 3 races ago was like 17th, 18th, so I know it's only 1 race, but he's finished in the top 6, and Max has won, then you're looking at the car and you're thinking, yeah, they've made a step, which at this point in the season would be so ideal for Red Bull.
Yeah, I think we'd have, like we said, or like you said, I think we have to give it another race or two to really, because I think the Max ideally needs to do what the most he can do and just win from here on out, but I think Max minimum needs to be P2 every race to give himself some sort of chance, because at least then he's dislodging one of the McLarens.
Yeah. So
right.
Driver ratings.
Driver ratings. So your top 10 from the Azerbaijani Grand Prix. I will get it up now. Quick shout out, Gavi Bortoleto got P11. Absolutely gutted for the boy, but he is now getting airtime on Sky Sports because they are calling him a good rookie again.
Big up. We knew it'd happen.
Oh, he's the goat. So your top 10 was in P10 Isaac Hadjar, then Charles Leclerc in 9th, 8th Lewis Hamilton, 7th Norris, then Tsunoda, Lawson, Antonelli, Sainz in 3rd, George Russell in 2nd, and Max Verstappen in 1st. Quickly, just want to talk about Alex Albon. He might be the most unfortunate driver of all time, because if he didn't mess up his qualifying, he probably would have got a podium.
But maybe
I
it's
feel sorry for him.
brutal.
Right, Isaac Hadjar, P10. It's just...
I don't really remember seeing much of him, to be honest. I feel like he didn't really work for that, did he? He just inherited it. It's
No,
just
I
kind of where he
think...
was.
Where did he qualify? I think he actually did okay to sort, because I think he qualified quite poorly actually. Where did he qualify? Alright, I'll shut up because he qualified 8th. Yeah, it's just sort of it's one of those ones where you say fair enough, you scored points, I think.
Yeah.
I'll give him a 6, middle of the road.
I'll go for a 5.
You horrible man. P9, Charles Leclerc. Where did he qualify? Not on the 3rd, which I think one of us said. Our qualifying predictions were horrific.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, they were. But to be fair, you can't really predict a qualifying session like that.
You qualified P10. P9. Yeah, Ferrari just looked horrific.
Awful. They looked terrible. One of their worst weekends of the year.
Did you see the quote of Charles Leclerc? They were like, we'll swap position with Hamilton. And he's like, yeah, I don't really care. It's for P8, mate. I was like, oh, that's the stage we're at with Ferrari now.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like, well, both of them looked like they were nowhere this weekend.
It was weird because Lewis had like 6 laps where he looked like he could genuinely overtake Norris, and then he just caught up to him and fell back even further. I'd give him.
It could be like that.
I'd give him a solid. Because you've got to take the car into consideration. I'd give him a 6, given taking the car into consideration. I think expectations from the driver, you'd give him like a 4, but that Ferrari is horrific. I'd say it's like 4th, maybe 5th quickest car.
Yeah, you just like him too much.
Right, I'll give him a 3 then.
It's a 5. It's a 5 or a 4. It's rubbish. It's not where he wants to be. It's not where the car wants
right,
to
Lewis
be.
midfield built on. Qualified 12th. Christ. Finished 8th. I'm going to go with a 4 out of 10.
Same as Charles. It's like maybe a bit more because he qualified lower down, but we'll go with a 5.
Lando. Let's get some comments ready from his fangirls, because I'm going to be very harsh.
Context of the championship, you'd go with like a... I guess you'd go with like a 5 or a 6, because on one hand he gained points on his title rival, which is great, but on the other hand he also kind of dropped points because there was definitely more on the table. So, with that being said, I'm going to go with a 4.
I was just about to say, I'm going with a 4.
It's just, yeah. He didn't really have much pace, which I was
He
quite
spent
surprised
far
at.
too long fighting cars he should not be fighting with. There's, like, he spent like 10 laps fighting like Leclerc, and then he got stuck behind Tsunoda, and then you saw, like, we'll speak about him, but George Russell literally just did the tactic of, I'm going to drive for really long and then just overcut everyone. And Lando didn't do that. And if he did, Lando probably would have got P3.
Was that his fault, though? I can't remember if he was ever off at that
The
or not.
McLaren messed up his pit stop again, so the fangirl agenda has now gone to McLaren hate him again.
They're rigging it. I mean, if we're going off papaya rules, then he should have pulled into the pit lane.
He should have gone round another
because
lap
his
and
teammate
crashed
did.
at the exact same spot and sat with Oscar watching the race, and they should have had a real big hug.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm going with a 4. P6, Yuki Tsunoda. Give him a 12. Where did he qualify?
It's like one of his best results.
I
this
think it
season.
is.
Actually, didn't he get
I
like
think it is his best result. I know it's...
Didn't he get like a really good one right at the start of the year when he was still in the
Oh, he
League Cup?
definitely would have got like a P5 or something. It's the guy ahead of him is his best result. But yeah, I'll go with a 7.
He was good. I mean, he was quick enough that Norris couldn't get past him. I know, obviously, Norris's pit stop wouldn't have helped matters, but still, I think, yeah, it was a
How
7.
sad is it
Seven
that
is
we're
fair.
saying the second Red Bull driver getting P6 and qualifying 6th is a decent weekend?
Well, it's just the point that we're at, isn't it? We have been for a while.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6. P5, Liam Lawson. I'm going to go with, ladies and gentlemen, the first ever Liam Lawson 10 out of 10.
10.
Mate, he qualified 3rd.
Yeah, I kind of did forget about that. Forgot.
Fair enough, right? We'll speak about the other person who got on the podium. The Williams is a far quicker car it could hold it could, and it did hold its own with like the Mercedes. I never once thought Lawson was going to get a podium because that V carb just isn't good enough as a race car. But P5 is sort of like he's finished ahead of both Ferraris, a McLaren, a Red Bull, and the Racing Bull of Hajar and the other Williams, who are all cars you'd expect to somewhat be in there with the points. So I think he has literally extracted the maximum he could from that situation, which he put himself in qualifying.
Pretty fair.
Get him in the Red Bull.
I won't argue that.
Get him back.
Oh my god. No, it's a good weekend. I'll go with a 9.
P4 Kimi Antonelli qualified, I think. I'm going to throw a 6th out there. He qualified. Oh no, he qualified 4th. Qualified 4th, finished 4th. Good on him.
He really needed
that.
Yeah,
it's one of those ones where you could, if he got a podium, it would have been ideal, but you can sort of say, yeah, 4th, fair enough. Like, he put decent pressure on Sainz, but I think Sainz is just a step.
Mate, he's been on such a skid, so he really needed just something.
He just needed something to pick him back up, and like, especially heading into a back end of the season, which is going to be a lot of tracks which he probably hasn't raced on in like any sort of machinery. So yeah, I will go with a 8 out of 10.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to say that. I agree.
Right, P3 Carlos Sainz qualified 2nd, finished 3rd. I'm going with a 10 out of 10.
Mate, Carlos Sainz enjoyers, just take this, just lap this up.
Just breathe it in.
Mate, this is like a reward for such a horror season. Probably the worst season of his career.
Oh, 100%. Well,
he said straight away it was the best podium of his career.
Yeah,
he's feeling great.
You can tell
I'm feeling even better.
You can tell he's just happy to have finally. It's not even a bit of luck. It's just finally to have a result go his way.
Imagine if Albon didn't mess up qualifying and we had 2 Williams on the podium.
Would have been absolute limbs. I told you the Williams would be good, yeah.
You did,
and then
yeah.
I predicted Charles Leclerc to go on the podium, I think. God, why am I so...
But it was great to see. Great to see Simon.
It's just, ultimately, that's what Williams brought me in for, isn't it? Right, weekends like that.
Yeah, it is. It's like they needed someone that had proven race-winning sort of pedigree, podiums whenever they want, and they've got that. I know it's been a crap year.
Even in the race, he was like calling the strategy.
He's delivered a podium, and that's what they bought him for.
What a boy!
So
can't wait for him to get knocked out in Q1 next week.
Yeah, well, yeah. This is now important, where everyone remains realistic, and that this was a one-off. But it's great. Next year, he might have 2 podiums. He might have 3.
2nd, George Russell. Considering he sounded like he was probably going to die on a Friday practice, did you listen to his radio?
Yeah.
that was a man who was rough. Toto Wolff also said Bottas was very close to driving instead of him.
I would have been fine.
But yeah, P2, he qualified, I think, 4th. No, he didn't. Antonelli qualified 4th. He qualified 5th and finished 2nd. It was a really good strategy from him.
His first podium in a while, isn't it?
Yeah. Because Mercedes have... You've been using the word skid all weekend, over episode, and I like that word. Mercedes have been on that bit of a skid where they just haven't been able to click anything, especially in race pace. And they just literally did the tactic of drive really, really long into the race and then overcut Sainz and just use their car advantage to run away from it. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10.
It's a great drive. I'll give him a 9 because he was ill.
Oh, fair enough. Give pay. Max Verstappen, 1st, qualified. 1st, finished 1st. I am going to give the man a 10 out of 10.
It's a 10 out of 10 for sort of like what we're talking about him now, that he could be a title challenger. So it's great for the narrative. But if we're talking about the actual race, he just did what he needed to. I wouldn't say it was an outstanding performance in any sort of way, if you get what I mean.
He literally just led lights to flag, didn't he?
So if I say, on the race, it's more of an 8.
I'll lower it to a 9.
Don't let me influence you, mate.
You're always influencing me. Biggest loser. I'm going to go with Oscar Piastri.
Yeah, I think that one's an easy one, to be fair.
Just a quick one on Piastri. He received a penalty, but he doesn't carry over into the next race. Because I think
was the penalty that he put himself in the
he jumped
wall?
the start.
Yeah, no, but then did they just think, oh yeah, you took
Well, they
your
did it for
penalty when
Lando,
you put
didn't they?
yourself
Because
in the wall.
after they crashed in Canada, they give him a 5-second penalty, but they were sort of like, well, it's not really going to make a difference. So I think they just sort of say, yeah, fair enough. It's like unrelated. Biggest winner, I'm going to go with Carlos Sainz.
They go with Max Verstappen.
That is all we have time for today on the Push to Pass F1 podcast. This has been our Baku Grand Prix preview and a slight review of the news we've had in the past 2 weeks before our last episode. If you have been listening on Spotify, don't forget to drop us a follow and a 5-star rating. It massively helps. If you're listening on YouTube, don't forget to drop us a like and a subscribe. It is hugely appreciated. I have once again been Max.
I've been Reef.
And this has been the Push to Pass F1 podcast.